So, hi guys, welcome to yet another episode of the Zawordy Podcast. And today I also have me a guest. It's a he again, Isaac Oketch, guy, and this guy is a jack of all trades. Literally, when I say he's a jack of all trades, he's a jack of all trades. This guy is a poet. He's a spoken word artist. I don't know the difference, but he'll tell us. This guy is a journalist. He's a journalist. He's a book writer. He has a book that is coming out, I think. He's an MC, and the rest he'll tell us. So when I told you he's a jack of all trades, I meant he was a jack of all trades. I told you the rest, but I'm happy, guys, to be shooting this video with this cool guy. I met him some time back. We have known each other for some time, and I want to know his story. As we all know, Zawordy Podcast is a podcast that features people's stories, mostly artistic stories. Their journey in their artistry, their journey in their art. Art is different, art is beautiful, and the fact that people can come differently, that like different people doing the same art, you will still get a difference in them, kind of. Yeah, so we want to hear what this guy has, because I'm also a podcast host, and he's another, but we are different people, but doing the same art. So yeah, art is beautiful. Art is lovely and art is diverse, and I can't wait to share his artistic journey and for him to share his artistic journey with us here at the Zawordy Podcast. So, guys, without further ado, let me introduce to you Isaac. The rest of his names, I think he'll tell us. Yeah, because he has artistic names. He doesn't have only one. He has a gift. Yeah, he'll tell us all that. So, yeah, guys, help me welcome the guy himself, the man. So, yeah, guys, so help me welcome Isaac, the man himself. So, Isaac, I don't think I've done like justice trying to tell people who you are, trying to introduce you. And I want you to introduce yourself because you know yourself better. So, hizo trade zote, hizo hats zote, put them down. Who is Isaac?
Hi everyone, my name is Isaac Oketch, but I go by the stage name Zawordy. So Zawordy is spelled Zawordy. Like I normally tell people, you know when you tell somebody you're called Zawordy, they'll only think about Zawordy ya Kiswahili. So and then you have to be very specific about the spelling.
So but yes. Isaac in itself, the meaning is a gift. I think
no, no, okay, my three names are
gift to Abraham.
Gift, Isaac Oketch. Okay, you've gone the biblical way. So then you see, the name came from my high school classmates. Now, because I started poetry way back in high school, and then these people, now they decided to translate my name, but then I never liked that, because Swahili is not my
translate from what word?
From gift to Swahili. Now, the exact meaning is Zawordy. But then I'd never put it down on paper like with the exact spelling. Yeah, it didn't sound artistic for me. So then later on after high school, then I told myself, you know, I need a stage name. I used to call myself Gifted Poet. But then I felt that was really basic.
Gifted hands, gifted words.
So then I came about, then why don't I use Zawordy? Obviously, if you're called a gift, you need to have a gift that you give back to the society.
Oh, and you have one.
Yes. So then I told myself, you know what? I'm a spoken word artist. Why don't I just add some words to this Zawordy? And then it became the wordy guy. So normally if I tell somebody I'm called Zawordy, they tell me, oh, you let me say a word.
And it spoken words and whatever and everything. Yes. No, I also like the way us growing up now, you're letting go. I used to love my English name. And I think you're the only one that calls me that name. I won't say it.
Yes,
I think you're the only one that calls me that name actually. Because I met you back in 2020. It was in 2020, your time of COVID. You were working for Urban Radio. I was a field agent. You also
I was the producer for the morning show, intern producer.
Yeah, and I was on for the evening show, the ride back home. Yeah, so that is where this guy knew my name. And when someone calls me my English name, my first name, I know it's this guy. Because people don't call me that name.
But you also, as well, you've introduced me here as Isaac. Why? Because we knew ourselves in a professional space. So normally, it's more formal at times.
It also got to a point that I dropped that name. And I was like, nah, I don't want to use that anymore. That is where the Tino Wasal came. But Tino Wasal sounds more artistic than Marilina T, you know. what's that?
why are you guys doing away with the English from your names? You know,
I love the fact that every time I tell people my name is Atieno Wasa, they're like, ooh, well. But when I tell them I'm Marilyn Atieno Wasa, they're like, that is like every other name out there.
Yeah, you know, the same thing happened to me when I dropped my surname. Oketch is my grandfather's name.
Oh.
So then after finding that it was sounding more African, people being called Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga, you see, we had this boy in our class used to call himself Otieno Odongo. So then I felt, why wouldn't I just also have not dropped my surname? It would have sounded nice. But then I told myself, no, there's nothing I can do about it.
But we are here now. Those names now you have Zawordy. Zawordy is cool. It feels so good.
Yeah.
So Isaac, we want to know, tuambie sasa hizo hats zako zote, I'm ready to hear them. I've said you're an MC. I saw you MC for the first time for an event. You told me it was the first time.
Yeah, that was my first time, and it's the last up to now. I don't know if there is another.
But you're willing to take another. Huh?
Yeah.
Do you think it's a path you can take up?
Yeah, I can try. You should tell the MCs to be very afraid.
Once you're artistic or you're creative, it goes. You will pick up
everything that comes your way.
Yeah, and people will tell you, your voice is so good. You should try this. You should try that. People have been telling me that. So yeah, you're a poet.
Yes.
Spoken word artist.
Yes.
A journalist. I saw you on KTN sometime back.
Yeah, that was last year. No, you see, I've never been on TV actually. And then I had this dream like, okay, being a journalist, I want to be an anchor or I want to be a radio presenter. But then it just came by chance. I was from Nakuru, from a certain tour, artistic tour. And then our school was having the graduation. So when they did an audition and then I just got picked on the spot. The following morning, the guy was on KTN home like nobody's business.
I was like, I'm proud of this dude. He's moving. He's making moves. I'm not
Genius Chinyamaji. Okay.
You know you have to like, sometimes you compare, whether you know it or not, you compare, you're like, hey, I wish I was there. Okay, with that wish you were there. This guy travels a lot. That is another thing. You travel so much. I've had such a hard time getting a hold of this guy. And just getting, you came late. Yeah, I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm a bully.
Wow.
So I'm going to put you on the spot. You came late.
So you want these guys to know that I normally, I don't keep time?
No, I don't know normally, but today you came late. You feel like you want to apologize to me? Because I'm a bully, I'll bully you into
I think after this podcast I'll do that, not at the moment.
Oh, you want it up? Yes. But you know, when the name is big, you also do a big apology. Okay, let it slide. Okay. So your journeys, all these together, how did you start? Like how did that?
Okay, being a journalist, I've always wanted to be a journalist ever since I was young. Yes. I remember in Standard 3 we were told to write a composition about when you grow up, what would you want to be? Then I wrote that I want to be a broadcaster. You see, at class 3, that is an English word that is not really at that level. Most people are conversant with it. So then my composition won. So our class teacher said the best composition will be posted on that class notice board. So mine was there like the whole term. So people are calling me broadcaster. I walk in the estate and I meet a classmate of mine, broadcaster, and then I'm like, okay, yeah, this is what I want to be. And the spirit started getting in me. By the time I got into high school, got into the journalism club, we would organize our magazine, we would present news at the assembly. I would go for music festivals and compete under that category, news reading. And read regionals. I've never reached nationals though. But then I also liked public speaking, and I never knew that I would be a national champion. That happened last year. I was the best public speaker. I brought a trophy for our college, and I'm proud of myself. So then getting into the journey of art, poetry came by just as it came. Actually, because of art, I've been able to perform in various platforms. I remember in standard 6, we performed to the Japanese ambassador to Kenya. And that's when I knew that I'm able to do this. Yes, I never knew that.
So you started these things early?
Yeah.
So peak, you are a master of this,
Yeah, I've always loved being on stage.
Oh, yeah.
So that was way back in primary. Getting into high school now, you see it's full blast. There's drama festivals, there is the music festivals. And by the time I was in high school, I was writing choral verses for our school. And then I was in the drama club, in the music club.
I was a performer.
So just a performer. I was a writer.
Eyes out, big eyes and your eyes out and whatever.
Yes.
So you could write.
Yeah, I started poetry way back. So then spoken word came after high school, I remember. Almost around Form 4, I started writing but not performing. So then after high school, it's when now I came to know about poetry after lunch. And then I would attend these sessions. And then I would learn, see how people perform, see how people do these things. I would go to places like Dunga Hill Camp, get to see how they do it, attend various concerts in Kisumu, and that's how I got into the game. And I never knew, like, years later I would be an award-winning poet.
But I saw you won an award. It was you and Felicity Moody's.
No.
Yeah. I know, I saw you, like,
performing. Yes, we competed. Yeah, so this is what happened. Okay, before I get onto that, I never got to defend my trophy last year at the Kenya Cultural Festivals. In 2021, I became the overall winning spoken word artist Kenya Cultural Festival. Yes, so then last year, due to travel, Savannah, Pale, Nyondoko, I never got the chance to go and defend that trophy, which at some point I feel bad about it, but then it's life as well. So, and then I've also won a couple of trophies at the drama festivals for the colleges, for our school. They know that. I think if you visit our principal's cabinet.
I won't name it.
Yeah, we won't name it.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you go to that principal's cabinet, you'll find lots of trophies to my name. Which I'm proud of, at least leaving a mark and inspiring several others. And right now, what I'm planning to do, maybe in the line of art, is to now really get out there, maybe become a spoken word champion nationwide at the Grand Slam.
Get that.
Amen.
There's something I need you to tell me. The last time we met you, I was with you at an event.
Yes.
You told me you have a book launch coming.
Wait, why don't you say the name of the event?
The name of the event was Men in Spaces.
Yeah, one of the biggest events in Kisumu.
It was big, and it was a poetry show.
Totally sold out.
People, that room was full. That room was full. I've never seen Kisumu people show up for poetry, like the way they did for that. Yeah. And I'm not going to lie. I was a red carpet host, interviewer. If you get it. Yes. Yeah, but I was impressed. And to make it, it was a poetry event about men, like giving men spaces, and just from the name, Men in Spaces. Yeah, so that is where I saw you last, and you told me you had a book launch. Tell us about this book.
Now, if I'm to talk about my artistic journey coming to the book, it gives me some sense of disappointment a bit, because I expected the book would come out in December, but then, hey, Kenyans, I've come to realize that printers pia ni mafundi.
Oh yeah.
You see the way fundis get to lie to you.
Now everyone in their respective fields are fundis.
Fundis, yes.
Have you met photographers?
Hey, those guys, if you don't
2
give
months
them
later,
pressure.
Your footage, it's so everybody so your book.
Yeah, so my book probably it's coming out the mid of this year, probably, yes. I am really trying hard so that we can get it to get published in time. That will be around March, April, or May. So my book will be out. Okay. I don't want to do a spoiler about it, but it's a poetry collection.
The name of the book.
The name of the book.
I mean, you're still looking for there are people that finally, after everything is up.
Yes, because my editor brought an issue the title of the book. Initially it was called Spills of Ink, but then we are planning to change it. So it's going to be a big thing. We're going to launch it in Kisumu.
Spills of Ink feels good. Oh, thank you. The next time we're going to be here is after the launch of that book, and we want that book
Yes,
we want that book here.
Yes, it has to be here.
Yeah, so I had a very nice time with you people. I remember Tukiwa Urban Radio as it turns. It was fun. This guy was everyone quite's best pet.
No, she's lying.
What? I'm just going to say it because we don't, you won't like everybody.
Yes.
It felt like Quach hated everyone, but loved Isaac.
Why did you think he loved you?
It's everyone could say it. When Quach wanted something, it would be Isaac. Where's Isaac? Where's Isaac? When Quach, we were at a table, Quach's blind and whatever could be waiting for Isaac. You remember there was this time, I know you put me, but I'm going to be, there was this time, we had a meeting, around table meeting, all of us together, and everyone was supposed to like give a view of what they think about the shows and stuff like that for the week.
Yes.
Okay? A meeting for the week. And then Quach was waiting for Isaac's part, whatever Isaac wanted to say, and then afterwards he switched off. That dude switched off. And then for his shows, he wanted you to be here next to him. So all this going on, you still want to tell us you are not his favorite?
Okay, yeah, but much gratitude to him because being a radio legend like he is, now I got to learn a lot under his wings, and being the morning show producer for the show that he was the main anchor for, it was such a nice time working with him. Yeah, and I got to really learn a lot, and it was such an amazing time, and it has propelled me up to this point where I've reached as a journalist. In general.
And in your poetry, do you have a specific focus? Or anything goes as long as it's a message. Like there's issues of climate change, then you talk about climate change. When it's issues about women, then it's women. Men, you go that direction, something like that. Or you have a specific. You know, there are poets I've had that have specific GBV, whatever. So do you have a specific or
for me, I'd say this is what happens. Much I like to write about. I used to write much about love, but then I stopped. Don't ask me about that. But these days, I'm passionate about mental wellness, and that's where I really dwell on, even on my podcast. And for written poetry, I tend to dwell much on the issues that are in the society. From the side of corruption, I would talk about police brutality, I would talk about leadership, and such and stuff. But also at times, you are forced to get into spaces where you've never talked about such things before. Maybe it depends on you are going to perform at a certain forum, and they are advocating for something, for example, like human rights, so you'll switch onto that. Or if it's climate change, like you said, environment, it will force you. Like soon enough, we are working on a project with Wild Animal Protection, so it is going to force me to really get to research and know much about that and advocating about animal rights.
And you've mentioned a podcast. There's a Zawordy Podcast.
Yes.
And I had someone's voice there. There was Beryl that we were with. And then there was this guy from South Africa. Where did you get that guy?
I told you, we are going international. We are going international. This is the Zawordy Podcast.
We go home.
Yes. I have a couple of listeners from Germany. I have a couple of listeners from Denmark. Yeah, so we are international, and also in South Africa, some of my friends there got to listen to me. So then this guy from South Africa, I think it's episode 19, yes. He's called Mashupe Pala. He's a very good friend of mine. He's an actor and a theatre enthusiast. He came over for the Kenya International Theatre Festival. I happened to have been invited, and then it was also alongside the Kenya Cultural Center incorporating Kenya National Theatre's 70-year celebration. So then during these celebrations, these things were going on concurrently. And we had this competition that you're talking about. Maybe let me get back to it. Yeah, we competed there at the PAL competition, Poetry After Lunch competition. Yeah, luckily enough, let me use the word luckily enough, I never got to win. I was out in the first round. Yeah, sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. So then I got to meet this guy. He came over for the Kenya International Theatre Festival, and then we became friends. And then I told him, you know what, I have a podcast. And I was walking him around town, then he told me, why don't you schedule a moment so that I get to highlight my story. In fact, we had to do the second part of the podcast because he was chasing his flight. So we'll do that later, maybe in South Africa.
Oh, okay. You get me to that. You know, with video, you have to set up and do whatever. Yes. But when it comes to audio podcast, I hear that the easiest.
Yeah, they're easiest to do spontaneous.
You're just sitting somewhere, you have lapel microphone.
Yeah, in fact, you are at a restaurant. People are seated on their tables and we are recording. Nobody knew.
Think you just.
Yeah, we're just conversing.
Get me to that. Get me to that.
Yeah, you should.
Because this takes my time. I'm not saying that I want to run away from it because I love this. The fact that people can fall in love with your background and whatever it is you're wearing.
Or is it because you feel that you have a nice face for the camera? I don't know.
Okay. Oh, please. I know I do, but yeah, all that put together is what is bringing us here. Yes. So there's something else that I need you to talk about. We have talked about your poetry, your writing. You have not given us a difference. I asked you.
Poetry and spoken word.
Poetry and spoken word.
Okay, poetry and spoken word. Spoken word is poetry meant for performance. But poetry is in everything. Even music is poetry. Oh, yeah. But then now it depends in what context it exists in. For example, the ones we used to do in English, paper 2, I don't know, paper 1, yeah, that's also poetry. But you see, you can't call it spoken word. Why? It's not meant for performance. It's meant for reading and for any other thing. So spoken word borrows much from poetry, only that it's meant for performance. Yeah, but poetry is in everything, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, like you're taught in school.
Tell us about voiceovers. Nigga, when I told you this game was a jack of all trades, I invented voiceovers. But anyway, she made your achievements. But that is why we are here.
Are they really achievements, or they're just my way of existing?
Once you get yourself into something and the first time you do it, it's already an achievement. Right? Oh, wow. You starting up, you just knew you wanted to be a broadcast media personality, right? But now you're going into all these things and trying everything. For me, we are celebrating even the little things. The day I put up camera and I took myself out. Imagine. And that I didn't even record a single episode that day. I just put up a camera. Nikajambia now a podcast is coming. You know, when you are still in the planning stages and whatever,
yes.
You just put, and I told myself, I've already made it. Like, even if I didn't shoot a movie, I've already made it. Yeah. So you did me a voiceover. I'm not put it out yet, but yeah, voiceover. Oh, you have a good voice. You know, people tell me I have a good voice, and now I'm a person with a good voice telling someone else he has a good voice.
Okay, I don't know what range. Wait first. Thank you for that, for the compliment. But I don't know what range do you rate good voices. But then now, this is how it came about. This is how it came about. Yes, you're not the first one to tell me that. But then now, I was getting this response from the podcast of doing, okay, you have a nice voice, you have a nice voice. So then I told myself, if I have a nice voice, then what really I'm doing about it? Because I feel like podcast is all about just, the stories, basically how I talk to you. Like I can give you a call and basically how I talk to you and I record it and I put it there. That is not really much to me, in as much as, yes, it might mean much to my audience, but I was feeling like I'm not really doing enough. So then I told myself, when I met my friend, Silas Nyanchwani, so then he's been having his books. Yes, then he told me, have you even thought of going into the audiobook space? Like, do audiobooks for people, try voiceovers.
People actually prefer that than reading a book.
Yes. So then I tried out a voiceover for him. He's an enthusiast around mental. He's an enthusiast and an advocate for men. Yes, masculinity and everything. Yeah, so then I tried one for his book, like a simple advert. I just did it with phone. Then he was really happy about it. Then I told myself, okay, if that is a reception from a professional, someone who's really studied and he's had a couple of audiobooks and voiceovers.
He has several books.
Yes.
And copy.
Yeah, big up to Silas Nyanchwani.
Yeah.
So yeah, so then I told myself, then I can do this. Then I tried few here and there. And then came end of last year, I started seeing my friends are having different brands. There's a friend of mine who has a cleaning brand called Fast Street Services. So then when I usually saw on his status, then I saw a lady did for them a voiceover. But then I felt like there's something missing.
Yeah.
So then I told myself, why don't I try the same thing but with my own expertise and voice? Then I tried it. Then he liked it. He paid me for it. Then I told myself, okay. So yeah, I can do this and get paid.
You can do it.
Yes.
So Wahenga actually, Mr. Riza Wahenga, he likes to call me Mr. Riza Wahenga.
Yeah.
The one that told me, I like your voice, so why don't you try an interview? And I told him, I do interviews, okay? So how about I try Red Carpet? And he was like, yeah, can't you do it?
Yes.
And yeah, even though it came up with hitches and whatever, but now I wanted to get into that space, and that is how I got myself into African Film Festival and did Red Carpet interview. So yeah, I get it when you say some people can influence what you get into.
What you get into.
Yeah,
True.
yeah. So I'm hoping tutapatana radio someday. Ama ikikufa.
Oh, that vibe in me.
Vibe, yeah,
no, the vibe is still in me. Even I told you before we started this that I've been a radio presenter for the past 3 weeks. Then I just had to walk out of that space. But sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Life happens.
I know. You got time. All the news. Environment. We won't get into it.
That is behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But we are into this space still. Podcasting is basically as well.
Exactly. It's already radio. Mine is already audio.
Only that we are rebelling away from the norms.
The normal radio, like normal broadcast radio. But I get it, and I love this piece, and I love that you're trying all these things, and you're being good at all of them.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I can't wait to come to Zawordy Podcast. Tell me.
You need an invite, or what do you need?
I need an official invite.
Okay, so I'll do a memo, or I'll send a greeting card.
Or you send me an email.
Yeah.
See, you said we are going international.
Yeah, I'm very professional as well.
Yeah.
You don't call me to your podcast with a text on WhatsApp.
But I can still call you. We know each other. We know each other at some level.
Okay, let me ask a question, just for the sake of it. So you take things casual because somebody knows you?
Okay, there's a level of familiarity we can speak about, and then you won't make things hard for me.
Yeah.
You get, but when I don't know you like that, someone you can tell them, the name is yours, but I need it, and because we know each other, because I've talked to you with a familiar or whatever, you give it to me. Wow. But someone you don't know, it depends. Okay, it depends for me. My friends, I talk to them as friends. Okay, so how do your parents renew all this? Because my parents tell me, unafanya iti maongo. That's the law.
Yes.
What do you do exactly?
Okay.
So you carry cameras, like today coming to shoot, when I go shoot my nini, and I have the microphones, and I have and then they tell me, so how do your parents take it?
Oh, wow. This thing happened just last year in November while we were performing at the same competition I was telling you about, poetry competition at the Kenya National Theatre. So none of my parents, most of my dad has ever witnessed me on stage. Maybe I normally show him on phone, but on a live performance stage, none of them. But then in November, I was really glad because it was like my whole family. My maternal side, my mom was there, my aunt, 3 aunts, 4 cousins, family, friends, and they came to support me. Actually, out of all the contestants, I was the most supported, with the most fans in the audience. In fact, I got them to sit on the top.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
so
because
nice.
That was them all. So I could perform knowing that up there are my relatives and my family.
So for your event, where you were the Kalenjin of that event, you didn't even go to school with Kalenjins. No lie, I'm not being.
That's a tribal stereotype. I don't want to go there.
No, it's something good. It's something good about them that I like. I used to school somewhere between Kericho County and Kisumu County, and I remember those people could be visited by a whole matatu. And I love that, because there was something, only my mom could come. and you're there seated chini ya mti and whatever, eating, and these people, grandma is here, granddad is here, the cousins are here, people have even been gotten away from school. If you're in primary school, I don't know, tunaenda nini, and I love that. Exactly, and I love that about them, and they just, it feels like they just support each other, like we come through, okay? So it's not a bad tribal, it's a good one.
It's a positive tribal stereotype.
It's a good one, and I wish people came through for me like that. So I get it when you say you were.
But that was only for the first time, so I was really happy because my mom, normally my parents would tell me, hizo vitu mnafanya, umekuja Nairobi kufanya nini, hizo vitu mnafanya, those things you do. So then I would try telling them, yes, I do spoken word, I do poetry, and I like this. And then they would tell me, okay, you continue with it, but at some point back then they used to oppose it. But after they're seeing now, maybe it's promising and it's making me to be organized and just have my time, something to engage me, they never had a problem with it. So I was really happy that it came through for me, even though I never got to win, but it was really a good morale. Yeah.
So I'm hoping to see you in more spaces. We want to see you in more and doing
international.
I'm not expecting to do. You get. But yeah, we are wishing you all the best, Isaac. Do all those different needs of art and whatever. And we are hoping for the best for you. And I can't wait to come to the Zawordy Podcast.
It will come.
Because it's audio, it's easier, so I can't wait to come for it.
Wow, and how about you do it the visual way? Would you like?
I don't mind. We can have both. Yeah, we can have both. That is like I can have an episode 2 of this. But now with you as the me. Now I'm collaborating with you. You will be collaborating with me. Whichever way. But yeah, I don't mind. I can nini for 002 of what we are having here.
Yeah.
So Isaac, you're cutting short for
Oh wow! Okay.
Am I don't put you in any? No, instead of a nini, I want her. Can I just ask? Am I allowed to ask?
Okay.
Like after 5 lines of spoken word. Your favorite spoken word piece.
Okay,
come
my
on,
favorite piece.
give us a and then we wrap it up. So give us a piece.
You see, telling an artist to tell his favorite piece is like telling a parent to choose his favorite
but even
kid.
Parents have favorite kids.
But in their hearts, they should say yes. So if I do this, you guys are going to know that.
Pick your favorite kid in the hearts.
Okay. let me try and do it. Let me try. But how long should it
be? It's you to pick, but not long. Just a snippet of it. Like attack 5 lines or 6 lines. Yeah, we are good.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you. Ooh.
Action.
Okay. You talk of being progressive in a society where every mind is retrogressive. Don't you see this mindset is expensive when everybody seems aggressive yet some passive, perceiving life to be a passing train? I'd rather be fast to tell you these things fast, or I'd rather be an outcast now than be cast out later. O God of all creation, bless this our land and nation. Justice be our shield and defender. We are killed in the field. Who then shall defend us? Save us from this eruption, this volcano called corruption. Nilijelimu ni msingi, kwa sasa at education si foundation. Foundation imeachia ploti vile wezi wao plot schemes za kutuibia. Nilijelimu ni funguo, lakini mbona vyeti vyangu vya chuo vinanisaliti juu jina yangu ya pili. Na badala kuitwa Wanjiku ama Wino, nitachukua Wino nibadilishe jina. Badala kuitwa Tieno ama Njeri, heri nichukua kalamu nibadilishe jina. Kuwa Mkenya, sababu Kenya ni zaidi ya rangi, na kama ni rangi itatubagua basi tutafute chokaa, na kama ni kabila itatubagua basi tutafute makaa. We are black by blood, hata tubadilishe skin vile nakaa.
I could have rice,
yeah, one play.
That's good. That's good. I want to hear more of that. So, where do you perform? Like, do you have somewhere you perform?
Okay, my performance is based on events. How they come. Not like I have a regular place where I perform, but then I was planning to release an album last year, but I postponed it a bit
because
for your show. There are lots of things.
for your show. You've been supporting. I've seen you supporting, and then I'm waiting for your show.
Yes, we have a show. We have a show. It's not my show, but it's our show because I'm part of the show.
I'm waiting for your show.
No, okay. am I allowed to talk about the show we are having? Okay, after having last year Men in Spaces organized by Mr. Zawordy, this time again, Mr. Zawordy has teamed up with this amazing lady, poetess Felicity Modis, and the master of description, Phil Ibsen, and we are having a show called 4:02 a.m. We are talking about terrorism. It's the anniversary for the Garissa University attacks. Yes, so we are having a show.
Forgotten about it. I'm happy people are.
Yes, so we are having a show, one of the biggest shows once again in Kisumu City.
Nice.
Yes.
We're going to be there. So as we wrap it up, tell us where we can find the Zawordy Podcast.
Oh wow. Okay. The Zawordy Podcast. Zawordy, like I said it, the spelling is Zawordy. On Spotify, you can find me on Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Podcast, and YouTube. Okay. And also my social media handles, you can find me on Facebook, Gift Isaac, bracket Zawordy, same spelling. On Instagram, ZA_Wadi. And where again? Twitter at Zawordy.
Nice. Yes. I'm happy you came. The podcast, yeah, I'm happy that we got to host this guy.
Yes.
Jack of all trades, just like I said, and is in everything, okay, and being good at it. So yeah, guys, that is all I had for you for the Loud Voice podcast, featuring Zawordy Podcast, kind of featuring Zawordy Podcast. So yeah, I hope to see you next time. Go to YouTube and subscribe the Loud Voice Podcast KE, and I can't wait to see you for another shoot, for another episode. So that is all from us. So without further ado, bye.
Bye-bye.